Dear Mr. M. by Herman Koch, translated by Sam Garrett, and read by Peter Kenny. For Kutje Koch Lab, 1914 to 1971. Herman Koch, 1903 to 1978. Anyone who thinks he recognizes himself or others in one or more characters in this book is probably right. Amsterdam is a real city in the Netherlands. Haynes, to crew. Pull the power back. That's right. Pull the left one. Throttle back. Co-pilot. Pull the left one back. Approach. At the end of the runway. It's just wide open field. Cockpit, unidentified voice. Left throttle. Left. 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 Cockpit, unidentified voice. God! Cabin. Sound of impact. Malcolm Macpherson, The Black Box. Teacher Mortality. Chapter 1. Dear Mr. M. I'd like to start by telling you that I'm doing better now. I do so because you probably have no idea that I was ever doing worse. Much worse, in fact. But I'll get to that later on. In your books, you often describe faces. But I'd like to challenge you to describe mine. Down here, beside the front door we share, or in the elevator, you nod to me politely. But on the street and at the supermarket, and even just a few days ago when you and your wife were having dinner at l'Abbey, you showed no sign of recognition. I can imagine that a writer's gaze is mostly directed inward. But then you shouldn't try to describe faces in your books. Descriptions of faces are quite obsolete, actually, as are descriptions of landscapes, so it all makes sense as far as that goes. Because you too are quite obsolete. And I mean that not only in terms of age. A person can be old, but not nearly obsolete. But you are both old and obsolete. You and your wife had a window table, as usual. I was at the bar, also as usual. I had just taken a sip of my beer when your gaze passed over my face, but you didn't recognize me. Then your wife looked in my direction and smiled. And then you leaned over and asked her something, after which you nodded to me at last, in hindsight. Women are better at faces, especially men's faces. Women don't have to describe faces, only remember them. They can tell at a glance whether it's a strong face or a weak one, whether they, by any stretch of the imagination, would want to carry that face's child inside their body. Women watch over the fitness of the species. Your wife, too, once looked at your face that way and decided that it was strong enough, that it posed no risk for the human race. Your wife's willingness to allow a daughter to grow inside her, who had, by all laws of probability, a 50% chance of inheriting your face, is something you should view as a compliment. Perhaps the greatest compliment a woman can give a man. Yes, I'm doing better now. In fact, when I watched you this morning as you helped her into the taxi, I couldn't help smiling. You have a lovely wife. Lovely and young. I attach no value judgment to the difference in your ages. A writer has to have a young and lovely wife. Or perhaps it's more like a writer has a right to a lovely young wife. A writer doesn't have to do anything, of course. All a writer has to do is write books. But a lovely young wife can help him do that, especially when that wife is completely self-effacing. The kind who spreads her wings over his talent like a mother hen and chases away anyone who comes too close to the nest.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?